All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're doing well. Benjamin, good morning, John. Mustang, Knight. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank God it's Friday. Hope you all got some good weekend plans ahead. I think I'm going to do some fishing. Probably go to the beach, get some sun. I think both those things sound good. Charts are looking good. Let me know what you all think. What are you all seeing? I'm looking at the indexes. Indexes in gold. Of course, I'm always looking at indexes in gold, but I think that today might be a strong conviction day on what to look for. AK, good morning. Artie, good morning. As y'all are coming in, make sure you're saying hello. Don't just lurk in the background. I mean, I guess you can, if you'd like. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're doing well. Just a quick reminder. This is not financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education, informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including word of actually completeness for fitness for any particular purpose. Feel free, pause the stream. Read this. Great. Quiet day. So far, shaky, and I think that we've got a few things to look for that we always have to look for. It's pretty much the same stuff every time, right? All right, I've left my notes up here on the screen from the NASDAQ coming into, the back half of the week. We're on the last day of the week. The formation of this weekly candle is nearly complete. How is it going to close? And the market only does three things: trend, reverse, trading range. That's it. So what happened last week? We had a market that consolidated, attempted to go higher, failed to do so, and then actually ended up closing in breakout to the downside. And then this week, that could indicate to us that maybe that is a lower low in the market and that we could look for some sort of 3-day setup for a short trade. Maybe a trend opportunity on a reversal, a higher time frame reversal to go down. Monday was a pump up. We had Tuesday being a first red day. And instead of going down on Wednesday, it continued to go higher and break out. Yesterday, beautiful trade for anybody that took this. 3 sessions of breakout and a reversal back down to previous day's high. That's the setup. Back down to the close as well, which is great. And then that leads us into today. Did I have a signal day yesterday? What can I be looking for? Well, we've had this triggering of the previous day's low down here. So without any other setup or any other signal there, this is the only thing that I can look at. And I've already got it labeled off from yesterday where they triggered the previous day's low and a potentially, this is, again, all caps, exclamation mark and everything, potentially reversing market or down moving market. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to project this across. We have the day that begins the pump. We triggered the low. We broke the low. We could have made, within the current week's range, a lower low. And anytime the market makes a new extreme, they go back to retest the other side of that extreme. Now, that being said, this could just be a breakout of the extreme and a retest, breakout, pullback for a potential continuation to go higher. Yesterday also closed in breakout, and the market only does three things: breakout, trend, reverse, or stay in a trading range. So we're in breakout currently. Is the breakout going to succeed or is it going to fail? Me personally, we are at the high of the week, and I've listed out all of these different things. I am going to be looking for the short trade. Okay, if it does not come into my session, fantastic. That's great. I'll see you all next week. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. So if I want to go short today, based off of all the details that I've just described, and I'm searching for that setup, I need to see a market making lower lows and lower highs and prepping for a move down. We made a higher high at the beginning of the day. In the London session just prior, we have made a break in structure, a lower low. Just walking through the process. All right, we've got a high here. We've traded back up into the high in what appears to be leg 1 and a pause, and a leg 2 and a pause, and a leg 3 that has now already began to move prior to the session. 8 o'clock, actually this is a first hour trade. 8 o'clock opened up, and this was the breakout to go lower. Back down towards the low. Now, all of that being said, this has all happened prior to the open of the market. We're into the first consolidation. I'm going to look for continuation signs. Okay, this is a first fairly large drive down, and it was a fairly large drive down without going lower. So we'll see. But I feel good. At the very least, and this is probably the thing that I care about the most, is whenever I come into a session, you know, obviously I want it to do the things that I need it to do in order for me to execute the trade. But if I don't even know what I'm looking for on that instrument, then, you know, that's all kind of pointless. So seeing this and going through the process and seeing the steps and saying, hey, I know exactly what I'm looking for, at least gives me some confidence going into the session. Questions, comments, concerns? Everybody give thumbs up, thumbs down, exclamation marks, periods, something. All right, we're going to go to US 30. Now, between the two, between when I pull up the NASDAQ and I come over to US 30, I feel almost a little bit better about it. It just seems like the chart potentially could be a bit more clean. We've got a week 1 breakout from last week, very similar to the NASDAQ. They've closed down. And again, it's not something to sit here and start throwing my hands up about and saying this and that about it. All it does is tell me market has been going up. Market may want to go down. We broke out. Market only does 3 things. Let's look for a 3-day setup or some sort of 3-day opportunity that could indicate to me that that's what I'm looking for. All right. So we had a pump up, and similar to the NASDAQ, first red. It didn't go down. It tried to over here. And then now we've gone back to the high and failed. We've got day 1, day 2, day 3 of longs in the market. Really day 4, but we could consider this like a lower low. Day 1, day 2, day 3 of longs. Either going to be a reset, or this is the lower low. This is what I'm really hoping for based off of what the market is currently doing. I'm thinking that this is the lower low on the inside of the current week's range to potentially go and continue the trend back down. That would be the large overall setup that I would want to see or be looking for. Right? Kind of similar to the NASDAQ. It's just a different chart setup. It looks a little bit different. Pump against. There we go. So if that's what I want to see based off of what happened yesterday, and yesterday was a breakout day, barely. On some brokers, maybe not. Let's go to a 5. We can see it maybe a bit better. It did close in breakout outside of a previous day's range right here. So we could consider that breakout day 1 because we've been going up, market go up, market breakout down, all right? On the day, I want to see lower lows being formed. We had a higher high at the beginning of the day in the Asian session, and then we broke down and made a lower low coming into the London session. So on the day, we've got a higher high. We've got a lower low. This is the low of the day. And then we pumped it back up. We pumped it back up once, twice, And on the third attempt to go higher, we have price being lifted once, twice, and 3 times to the high. Peak formation high, double top, and a reversal. Pretty similar to NASDAQ. Things have happened in the first hour. Things have moved in the first hour. However, we have not gone back to the levels. So I'd still be willing to watch this as long as it continues to break down, hopefully in 4 minutes. We've got 4 minutes to the open. Let's look at gold. Okay, gold, we had breakout day 1, breakout day 2, third day of longs in the market, inside bar, first red, did not go down, did not trigger previous day's levels either, continued to go higher. So now we're into 1, 2, 3, 4 days of longs, 5 days of longs in the market. Backside of the week, we had a inside bar, first red day, that did not go down. So this could be, if I was forced to look for a setup, I would have to say that we've got 3 days of longs in the market, at least. We do have a lower low here. Okay, they've gone higher. They made a lower low. They traded back down into the low. We're a little bit consolidated. Gold's not bad. Okay, I've got 2 theses in mind. Number 1, we had a first red day that broke out and closed in breakout. I could be looking for a squeeze, but I only will take these squeeze trades, first red days, basically from closing price. So from this yesterday's close right here, I would look for them to squeeze, start making higher highs, and go higher, straight out of the playbook. Do I think this is set up well for that? Can it be done? Sure. 3 days of longs in the market is a reversal setup, and we are at the high of the week. So we have the higher high here. They've broken down to lower lows here. They've traded back down into the low without going lower over here. So a bit consolidated. I'm going to move on. Okay, Russell is, let me take a look. Yeah, so the Russell is going to be the exact same thing as US 30. I'm not going to waste anybody's time going through it. It's the exact same thing as US 30. Breakout, 3-day setup, 3 days of longs, lower low, first red. The only difference is this one did not close in breakout. This one actually peaked up, peaked down. We're back on the inside. Now we have a consolidation sitting in the middle. Did we break down on this one? Yep, so we've got higher high, lower low, traded back up into the high. You can see the little 3 peaks here. Great. Same thing. Oil. Lots of days of shorts into the market. Breakout day 1. Yesterday was an inside bar. We've triggered the low, popped back up, and started making higher highs on the day. Yep. It'll be interesting. All right. We're about to go into the open, so I'm going to make sure that I have everything set up and ready to go, so we can watch the open together. Oil can go up. Yeah. I mean, it certainly could. That would be the setup that I would probably want to look for based off of all of these days of shorts in the market. Bit of an extended run down. But it really would be great to wait for a first green day first. Wait for a first green. We did trigger the previous day's high over here, so maybe this could be a 3-day setup. Trigger the high, higher high, back to the low, lower low fails. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Interesting. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yep. Okay, so one thing I'm already noticing, I don't know if it's going to continue to go higher. This is a pretty strong drive off the open. I'm not worried about that because it's only 1 minute in. This could just be volatility. But one thing that I am noticing is when they came out of this little high of day consolidation, how did they execute that breakout? It came down in a big 1, 2, 3 to the low, goes into consolidation and works the low. And if you notice how when they broke back up above there, kind of where the support and the resistance was, right? This guy and this guy, really all three of them are trapped, but right now, for sure, these two lower people here are caught. So I kind of want to see them get let out. Same thing over here on the US 30, kind of a slightly different way of consolidating and breaking out. But once you get the breakout over here, you kind of see the breakout 1, pause, 2, 3, or it could be 1, 2, 3, and then this is the consolidation down low. So we've got people caught below P2, which it looks like they actually caught them on this bar here, and then they wouldn't let them out on the open. Jay, I have no idea. He seems to trade very differently in a lot of cases. Or he focuses on very different things. It seems like, from what I've seen his posts. Okay, we're getting a lot of spiking. A lot of spiking. Basically just waiting for this first 5 to play out and then see where we're at. It would be phenomenal if this bar closed as a down close. Or maybe even if it closes a breakout to the downside, that'd be even better. If it closed to a breakout to the downside and started allowing that P3 to start making money, yeehaw. Got a little excited there for a second. Let's see, we break here, push 1, push 2. On the open, P3 to the low with a strong-ish bullish closed bar, but, maybe not really. All right. I have not entered anything. I was going to go over to my screen and get on the NASDAQ because the bar was all the way down here, and that looked nice. And then it did this. It popped back up right at the very end of the bar, last few seconds. If this bar would have closed down here, just like I said, right, we would have started allowing this guy to make money again. These people that could have been trapped here Would have, yeah, I will. Okay. No, I was really focused. Sometimes, AK, it's hard for me because I'm thinking so much about what I'm doing. I kind of forget to say it out loud, and that's my bad. Especially when I'm doing large scale ones like that, and I have to do multiple positions. I get a little focused. Okay, so the Russell is the only one out of the three indexes currently doing anything remotely bearish. And this was the first pullback here. We've already had a second pullback, and we're now into the third leg of a move. I don't really feel good about that, if I'm being completely honest. That just, we've made three legs down and we haven't made a new low. That's concerning. That's concerning. You know, we've made three legs down with no lower low. If we would have made, one leg down and made a lower low, and then we had the first pullback, I would have said, okay, hey, that's a breakout and a first pullback, breakout, pullback, continuation. Two thumbs up, yeehaw. Start dancing around. But this is a little different. Let's see. Let me get my chart to catch up. Nipsey? Well, I'm sitting here staring at candles go up and down, so let me go, I'll go take a look at it. See what you're jumping into. Interesting, Polly. That is true. Yeah, and that is a very strong possibility that maybe, everything just turns into an inside bar. That is a possibility. $11 seconds left to go on this. Give me 1 second, Nipsey, and I'll go take a look at it. Hey, good morning, William. It's been a while. I think you used to hang out in the streams all the time. I'm pretty sure. It was clean. You're watching NQ. Okay. I like this. I really wish that this bar would have came back down and broke out of this bar. Oh, you've been traveling? Gotcha. Let's I want you to make money. I want this guy right here. I want him to start, you know, start shopping around for his Lamborghini. Once this guy starts feeling better, it might be okay. NQ is going on a tear. Where is it going? Goodbye. See you later. So the reason I said this and the reason I did this is because this could be P2, but it's not a very obvious or convincing bar. And this one is. So I'd feel a lot better about, you know, this guy making money. Look what's just happened. Why did they pin right down to perfectly that spot? And this is not meant to be like a, ooh, I got you type of thing, but it is interesting. Well, which trend, Joanne? Are we talking about the 1 minute trend, the 30-second trend, the daily trend, the weekly trend, the 5 minute trend? Because we could be in an uptrend on a monthly, but a downtrend on the daily. But currently we're in an uptrend on the hourly. But honestly, we could be in a downtrend on the 15-minute, an uptrend on the 5, and a downtrend on the 1. All at the same time. It is possible. Are the bars trending, or is it a swing point trend? Do we have swings that are trending, or do we have bars that are trending? Okay, here we go. What are you gonna do, YM? You know, are you gonna actually break down, or are you just playing games? I mean, I was too, Joanne. I think everybody here knows that if it was that easy, you could just put a super trend little indicator up there and everybody would be doing extremely well. It would be easy. I'm starting to have worse thoughts about this NASDAQ trade. We made a lower low, and then we put in a higher low that failed to go lower. We've gone back to the high, but the breakout is quite strong. Is it making a run for previous day's high? It kind of seems like that. And this one has been breaking out and going higher, so maybe this 3-day setup thesis isn't correct. You know, we're in an opening range breakout. That could be. I do know I need to turn this fan down because I'm getting froze out of this room. Stand up and do a little stretch. Been sitting down for too long. There we go. Okay, so YM did not close down there. It just pinned down just enough to get you happy. And I didn't watch the spread, but surely when it was down here, the spread probably opened up a bit. Yeah, I mean, it can trend on Fridays, but you know what? Here's the thing. It can trend on Monday. It can trend on Tuesday. It can trend on Wednesday. It can trend on Thursday. It can trend on Friday. The trend can start on Friday, end on Monday. Anything can happen on any day. Now there are templates and things that we're looking for expansions of ranges and high of week and low of week reversals and things like that. It's just about how do I identify that setup is actually taking place. I always found it very confusing to say, well, today is Wednesday, so I'm going to look for only this. Because that thing that you're looking for could also take place on Tuesday. It could also take place on Thursday. Yeah. Yeah, I want to see shaky. I didn't either. I didn't expect it to do this, to go vertical like this. I did think it was a little strange. It was a little odd that it had made such a large move prior to the session beginning, because this right here, this breakout and the continuation that happened here, this was our trade. This was our setup. We got the lower low. They pumped it up 3 times, and they broke down. That was the trade. That was the setup. And kind of similar over here. I pumped it back up, broke down, went sideways, and continued. That was the setup. That was the trade. So our trades, our setups have kind of already presented prior to the session beginning, or in the first hour, right? They happened in the first hour prior to the 9:30 open, which is concerning. Kind of tells me that maybe the timing is off. Or it's not that the timing is off, it's that the market had other plans, and this is all part of the plan. It needed to go down before it can go up, needed to trap shorts before it can shoot up. Or another thesis could be this is a lower low. They go back to the high. If the high were to fail now, at the high of the day, maybe. But this is a lot of strength. That's a lot of strength for me to start thinking that. Could argue the W, yeah. I mean, that's a very, very, very clean. The way that these bars have formed, a very clean higher low. Oh, watching paint dry. I will say, as far as setups go and waiting for something, I do feel that US 30 has the highest potential as far as appearance goes, right? Where, it's come down here, and that could have been the trade. But as far as setup potential for continuation or something that I'd actually be willing to enter in on, this is kind of still the first pullback. If it were to follow through, I'd be okay with that. Although with how large the moves were yesterday, I'm wondering if today is just going to be like somebody, maybe it was Nipsey. Yeah, I think he said probably just going to be a consolidated day. It very well could be. And you see that a lot whenever Thursday was the large move for the week. It goes back in a consolidation on Friday to close the week. That does happen quite frequently. So I wouldn't be surprised. And by consolidation, I just mean sitting on the inside of previous day's high and low. Because that is consolidation, technically. Sitting on the inside of a range. All indexes going up and gold ditto. Maybe. I think gold definitely looks like it could be set up to squeeze higher. We've got the, as far as price action goes, we've got bars, little to no overlap here. And this one has actually triggered previous day's high too, but it's triggered it 3 times and then tried to go lower. Gold hasn't had any scary bars coming back down on the 1 minute. Like no really big stop hunts to the low. I take that back. Mustang, did it go a little bit in the other way? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier about push 1, push 2. And that's why I was so nervous to think about taking anything over here because it felt like this was a blow off, like a blow off P3. And I didn't want to get sucked in. I mean, don't get me wrong. It could still, maybe it loses the open or loses yesterday's close. Now we've got longs trapped above previous day's close. We could have volume trapped here. It's possible. It's very possible. Oh, you caught this one here, Joanne? With the little pullback here, took you out. Cool. I've got gold up on a 1 minute chart. I was kind of hoping to see the way that it's dragging up higher and higher and higher. That's good. Those little low volume pullbacks. I was kind of hoping to see on a 1 minute chart a really scary down move that immediately gets taken away and goes vertical. Let's see, Nipsey. Oil hit previous month low, then back inside the range. Is now going higher. It could be. And with this one, Nipsey, I think I was saying earlier about the, we've got 3 days of shorts in the market, 3 days of, closing in breakout as well. I really think I'd like to I'm going to wait for a first green day on this one. So if this turns into a first green, maybe Monday or something like that, that would be nice. Very nice, Joanne. Very nice. Good way to end the week, huh? Certainly not a bad way. Something's getting rigged. Be careful. It's always rigged. If you always believe it's constantly rigged, you're far less likely to get trapped. I still have not entered anything, but I was watching gold very closely. I'm still watching gold very closely. London was good? Yeah. Yeah, sure. I was sleeping. And I don't disagree with you about going back to the other side of the range on oil. I just think that I'm going to wait for a first green. And then I might be able to target the other side of the range after the first green day. So you might have like a first green day, and then maybe it consolidates. And then on Monday, maybe we'll see the rally to higher highs, maybe even breakout day one, and then I can go from there. I just feel more comfortable doing that with the current chart where things were at. It's already been a good week. No reason to hope and pray. Oh my gosh, someone's out there just revving the heck out of their car. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound like race car or anything like that. They're just out there in their 4-cylinder Camry, just flooring it in neutral, over and over again. That's why you all see me keep poking my head around the corner here. Like, what are they doing out there at 10 a.m. on a Friday, revving their Camry? Okay, gold coming in with a lower high, at least on the 1 minute chart. Right back up to that previous day's high, failure to go higher. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on this bar. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I guess sometimes it's necessary, right, Nipsey? My gosh, there they go again. It sounds like they're on the rev limiter too, if it even has one. I mean, it sounds like they just took a brick, set it on the pedal, and just let it go. And they've just been letting it rev for, 15, 30 seconds at a time. I know this has nothing to do with trading. I really am just waiting and just trying to make it entertaining as we can. All right, I'm watching gold closely. People are funny. I mean, it's to the point where I'm like, man, are they okay? I hope they're okay. It's stopped now. Um, it is Florida. Yeah. I saw a video the other day of a man, and he said, I guess he got arrested because he took an alligator inside of a gas station. I think this was a while ago. The guy in Florida, he took an alligator, took it inside of a gas station. There's like a video of him running around with it. And he said, yeah, I don't even remember doing this. Like, oh my gosh. I have so many questions. Have you seen Japanese index? No, I actually don't even. I don't really don't pay attention to those at all, if I'm being honest. Let's see. We've got the high of the week. We closed in breakout. And we're consolidating in a range. Okay. We're 7 minutes into this hour, into the third hour. Oh my gosh, AK. Well, this is a good read. P1, P2, P3, engulfment, breakout. You know, not getting involved in the trap. What is gold doing? Gold is starting to move like there was news. Surely somebody said something. Surely someone has just come online and said something. Is there news? There's got to be, right? Someone must be doing a news interview right now. Very nice, John. Love to hear that. Yeah, Joanne, I really wish that it would have, closed a little bit differently there, that last 5 minute bar. Because I was going to agree with you if this bar closed, down over here. Which it could, still could. It could still very easily do that. Now the news is out. Shaky, what news? What news was it? Let me, because I checked the news calendar before I started today. And I do every day. But, let's see. Yeah, CAD unemployment, CAD employment change, Polar bear feels very strongly about this. Bear man feels very strongly about the alligators. Okay. It's so funny on this. So on this chart over here, it's going lower, but on my other screen, which is a futures contract, it's going up. It looks completely different on my other screen. Forex.com compared to the gold chart. This bar closed lower. But that's what it looks like on a futures chart. Somebody's lying. Wow. Cool. Look at this. They've pinned down. They pinned up. Which they have done on a futures chart. They pinned down, they pinned up on all charts. They actually did the same exact thing over here on the Russell. Down, up. Pinned down, pinned up. I would still be willing to take gold if it were to make a large run down. And the reason being is because although it isn't exactly the most clean that I've ever seen in my life, there's still a decent high of week reversal thesis if it were to break down. And they have made this lower low here. And now we've failed to make a higher high, what appears to be or could have been 3 times. So I would be willing to take that. But it's going to have to give me something. I can't just jump in wherever, and it needs to start to show its hand. Did it really? How bad? Oh. Now, even though I wasn't really willing to take this is the same setup that we've been talking about for weeks. We're in a down moving market. They triggered previous day's low. I would have not taken this because it made a higher high on the day. It did actually come back down and make this lower low on the day. over here. So it was still the same setup. I'm not really willing to take trades like this because we're already 4 days down or more. Yeah, that's exactly what happens, Joanne. Every time, not every time, but you get in and it catches you. We're in consolidation. We're in a 1 bar range. This bar's made a high and a low. The market overall is already consolidated. We've been oscillating around the closing price. Yeah, it's if you look at the 1 minute, actually probably not on this chart because forex.com is kind of just doing whatever. But if you look at the other screen that I'm looking at, which is this one, see how it's dragging the longs up or the shorts up. Every pullback is immediately met with continuation. But that being said, this is all on the inside of a 1 bar range here. So that just tells me to wait and kind of be patient. $10.19. We'll give it another 10 minutes. I don't even know if I want to give it 10 more minutes, to be honest. Kind of getting tired of waiting. I'm going to skip these ads here. What is this? What is happening? On a futures chart, we're back at the high of this bar. This is a painful watch. I mean, truly. On a futures chart, this bar is going straight up. That's so bizarre to me. Look how different this chart here for gold compared to this. Come on, gold. We're rooting for you. In fact, on this chart, we're consolidating on top of the previous day's high. What am I looking at? Hold on. Why does that? I mean, that looks very, very different to what I've been looking at on this chart over here. It keeps failing to make new highs. It keeps failing to make new lows. That's the only thing. It just makes me feel like it's going to just stay consolidated all day. But it's already, on a futures chart, it's already broken out a previous day's high. And it's been sitting up there all day. You know, the entire duration of today has been outside of yesterday's range, just floating up there. Can't go up, can't go down. It just gapped up. Where's Shaky at? Is he in here? I know he said something about this earlier. I mean, this is Trap City. No, I'm going to take a loss. That's what's going to happen. If I sit here and keep watching this stuff consolidate like this, I'm just going to take a loss. I'm going to make more money by saving money if I just walk away. Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic week. Passed the Top Step Challenge. Had a great day earlier in the week. Had a great day yesterday. It's been a good trading week. I hope you all have had a good week as well, and I hope these live streams are helping all of you some way, shape, or form, whether that be through process or patience, or just hopefully they're helping with something, or maybe you feel more confident, leading you to trade a little bit better, something along those lines. But I really have been enjoying doing these live streams. I will see you all next week, same time, 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time, ready to trade, ready to go. You have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Don't just sit in front of the screen the entire time. Get out and get some sun. All right, get some vitamins, maybe a little workout in, some gym. That's what I'm going to be doing right now. I'm going to be going to work out. All right. Y'all have a good weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.